300 years before the Sith Empire returned to Republic space, a Sith pureblood who chose the name of Lord Scourge would establish himself as a rising star. Raised under the rule of the Sith Empire and enrolled in the Sith Academy until adulthood, Scourge quickly made a name for himself, noted as a lightsaber prodigy and as an expert at interrogation. Upon graduation, he was initially confined to relatively low-level assignments and campaigns along the Imperial frontier, though he would be eventually recalled to the Sith capital of Rahm Kota by order of the Sith Emperor himself, assigned to the protection of the Dark Council Master, Darth Nihilus. Scourge's initial mandate was to investigate the assassination attempts against her, though he would soon discover that they were nothing more than a ruse crafted by Nihilus, who was attempting to bring down another rival on the Dark Council. Having proved his worth, Darth Nihilus confided in him, expressing her desire to overthrow the Sith Emperor. Scourge joined in her schemes and served her faithfully for several years, though he eventually came to question her resolve, ultimately exposing her treachery to the Emperor. In turn, he would also betray Revan and Mitra Surik, who also attempted to overthrow Vitiate. For his loyalty, Vitiate made Lord Scourge his primary enforcer, granting him the title of the Emperor's Wrath. Through arcane Sith alchemy, Vitiate extended Scourge's life to an unnatural degree. However, Scourge remained committed to overthrowing his Emperor, and he bided his time, serving Vitiate faithfully for over 3 centuries, all the while awaiting the individual that he foresaw would destroy the Emperor. When he met the hero of Tython, he knew the time had come. Together, the hero and Scourge would vanquish the Emperor, Scourge being honored with the Republic's Cross of Glory. Unable to return to the Sith, and unwilling to join the Jedi, Scourge remained a reluctant member of the hero's party, and his ultimate fate is unknown.
Almost a millennia after the Battle of Ruusan, during the waning decades of the Old Republic, Rahm Kota would establish himself as an undaunted Republic loyalist, though also as a staunch militant. This aggressive worldview stemmed from his upbringing as a child soldier on his war-torn homeworld, where he was forced onto the battlefield before the age of 10. When Kota was 18, he met Jedi Master Mace Windu, who had been dispatched to negotiate a peace settlement. When the mission was completed, Windu brought Kota back to the Jedi Temple with him, where his latent Force talents could be honed under Master Yoda, making Kota one of the rare exceptions to the Jedi Order's policy of only accepting young children for training. Few bonded with the gruff Rahm Kota, and he frequently questioned the actions of the Jedi Council, though his commitment to the Jedi Order was beyond question. When the Clone Wars began, Kota established himself as an absolute military genius, though his distrust of the Republic clone troopers led him to assemble his own militia. These misgivings ultimately saved Kota's life. While the rest of the Jedi Order was butchered by their own soldiers, Kota escaped and went into hiding. Though Kota laid low for well over a decade, he was not idle, and he eventually came out and started openly attacking various Imperial military installations in an attempt to provoke a confrontation with Darth Vader. Instead, he was faced by Vader's apprentice, codenamed Starkiller, who defeated him above Nar Shaddaa. Left blind and broken after the battle, Kota lost heart, hopping cantina to cantina as a simple drunk. Kota's attempted suicide by alcohol poisoning would be interrupted by Starkiller, who recruited Kota as part of his mission to rally the various opponents of the Galactic Empire into a unified rebellion. His experiences with Starkiller helped Kota regain his fighting spirit, and when the Alliance to Restore the Republic was officially formed, he stepped up as one of their primary military leaders, though Starkiller perished on board the Death Star. As a rebel general, Kota would push for a major strike at the Empire, his efforts culminating in an attack on the Empire's cloning facilities on Kamino, where the rebels managed to successfully capture Darth Vader, all with the aid of an unstable clone of Starkiller created by the Sith Lord. The Rebel Alliance would eventually defeat the Galactic Empire and reform the Republic, though Rahm Kota's ultimate fate is unknown. Hello YouTube, this is Gensarai1 and I am presenting my second collaboration with Antoine Bandele, Lord Scourge vs Rahm Kota. Originally we were going to be working on Qui-Gon Jinn vs Rahm Kota, but Antoine wanted to switch over to Scourge after reading Revan. While I despise that book with a vengeance, I have nothing but praise for the character of Lord Scourge, and his more diverse skill set made for a more interesting matchup, so I was game. To be clear, we are focusing on Lord Scourge within the time frame of the novel, as the version of the character presented in the Old Republic MMO is considered a valid threat to top-tier council masters within both the Jedi and the Sith orders, and is therefore far beyond Kota's ability to handle. So now with all of that out of the way, let us proceed with Lord Scourge vs Rahm Kota, the Emperor's Wrath and the Jedi Insurgent.